Alright guys, how y'all doing today? So we're going to work on, it's like a coat rack, book bag rack, just something, my mom wants something that will go in her kitchen and my nephew and brother can hang his book bag up and things like that. So we're going to do it out of wood and metal hooks. So what we're working on now is the forged hooks, and then we'll get on to the wood part and we're going to do the whole fractal burning process and stuff. And I'm going to try something a little different on it. So stick with me, we'll get these hooks forged out and we'll go to the actual board part. Alright guys, so we got all these kind of fiddled with. Some of them are a little crooked. It's different working with round bar as opposed to square bar. But I'm going to get all these straightened up, and instead of wire wheeling them, we're going to throw them in the blast cabinet, and then we'll do a clear coat on them and drill the holes for them. And these should be all ready to go on the board that we're making. So if you bear with me, I'll get these straightened up. We'll do a little time lapse of them in the blast cabinet, and then we'll get on to the wood part. Alright guys, so I figured while the hooks were cooling down, we would just go ahead and get the piece of wood prepped. So we're going to take a router with, I think it's like a 1/4 inch round over bit, and just kind of soften the edges. So got our board right here all cleaned up. I've got my little fractal burning thing here. We're going to mix up the electrolyte solution and wipe it down, and we'll start burning it.
Well, hopefully I can get you somewhat good view. Get this picked up. Hopefully my phone doesn't pop out. Alright. Well, we're going to do everything all at once. We're doing sections. We'll go ahead and give it one kind of light heavy coat all the way across. So we can let it saturate in there. And before I move further, I want to just give a disclaimer. Doing it this way is very dangerous. If you mess with electricity, just please be careful. Alright. One wire there, we'll put there. And another wire. Put it over here. Okay. And just so everybody knows, it is unplugged. This is kind of my safety precaution. I step back and plug it in. Right. So now this just looks like a burn up piece of wood, but we'll take it and scrub it all off and get it all rinsed off and everything, and we'll come back to you. I'm not going to take you to that part. I'm not going to take y'all through with me to that part, because I have to do it upstairs in the bathroom because we got snow outside and I can't be doing that out there getting all wet and cold. So I'll get back with y'all once this is scrubbed and washed off, and we'll take a look at what it's going to look like. So here we are. See, we've got some big burn spots, but once this dries and we sand it, it'll look a lot better. Look at those. Those came out awesome. Those are the big spots, but we're going to sand them down and do something I haven't ever done with one of these before. But right now, we're going to walk in here. We're going to set this by the furnace. So, whew, hold on. Right there's my furnace. We're going to just let that set, warm up. This time of year, it's where I keep my epoxy so it stays good. But now what we got is we're going to take these drill bits, these hooks that I got. We're going to drill them and then throw them in the blast cabinet. So I will come back to you when I'm in the blast cabinet. You know how to drill things, or you know what it looks like. So let me be right back. Me, it'll be a few minutes. You, about a second. So let's pull these out. Take a look at them. So there they are. I just am tickled to death with this blast cabinet. I mean, if you wanted to sit there and take the time, you could get every last little bit of scale off whatever project you want. I sat there before you know, some people take an angle grinder and clean off all the scale. Well, I don't like throwing a whole lot of the sparks around because I do woodworking in here as well. So I take and throw them in here, blast them. It takes me maybe 5 minutes to blast all that hard scale off there, then straight over to the belt grinder. I love it. So anyway, I think all I'm going to do is spray paint these black. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Either that or a clear coat. I haven't fully decided. The clear coat on this gray stuff kind of darkens it up a little bit. It makes it look kind of neat. So I may end up doing that. But we're going to get these painted, and as soon as the board's dried, we'll go on to the next step with that. So guys, I'm sitting here editing this video, and I realized that part of the footage is lost. I don't know whether the GoPro didn't film it or I didn't press the button. I'm not sure. But anyway, what the part you're missing is me pouring the resin in the little fractal burned areas. All I did was mix up some tabletop epoxy with a little bit of purple pigment, and I had the border of that board taped up, and I just poured it all in the sections. That's the only part you missed. Sorry about that, guys, but it is what it is. Enjoy the rest of the video. Alright guys, so I wish I could tell you it was the next day, but it's more like a week later. The resin's all set up. I went ahead and pulled the tape out. This thing is looking sweet. Oh, woo! That was close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it here to my workbench. And I'm going to try starting off with a belt sander. And I think this is like a 50 grit belt or something, just to kind of quickly tear the bulk of the resin off the surface. And then I'll move on to the orbital sander and progressively higher grits. And I'll just kind of take you along with me. I probably won't film a whole lot of the sanding because, I mean, y'all know what sanding is. You just sit there and sand it. But once we're done and ready for the clear coat, I'll bring y'all back in, but I'll show you a little bit of the sanding. We have some acetone. We've got it up as high as what I think I'm going to take it. We're just going to take some acetone and wipe it down. And then we'll go on to the clear coat. So there it is. All the stuff kind of looks dull because it's been sanded on. Except for a few spots where it's a little low, but to me that isn't no big deal. I probably sanded too much. Probably should have poured the resin before I did an initial sand the very first time, because some of the real finer details of the trees went away, but I still think that looks really cool. So let's go in here, and I got to drill 2 holes for mounting screws, and then we'll use one of those to hang it so we can apply the finish coat. Alright guys, so we have our holes drilled, and if you notice there's a smaller size hole inside of a bigger size, and that's so I can use these little oak button caps. I'm not going to put it all the way in, to cover it up. That way it gives it a more clean finish look. I think that'll just look pretty good. Let me see if this light will help. Alright, well, we're in the part of my workshop that doesn't have really good light,
So I hope this is coming out, but we got this set up on some painter triangles, and we're just going to give it a clear coat. All right, there's the first coat. There's the first coat. We're going to let that dry. I'll probably do several more coats, and I'll bring you back when it's time to put the hooks on. So it's all finished up now, ready to put the hooks on. So we have 4 hooks. We want to get them somewhat evenly spaced, and I think I may just eyeball them. Those look all right, but I am going to get a ruler real quick. So, about 5 inches to that hole. 5 inches to that one. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in place. So that's it for that project. I hope you enjoyed it. Something a little different for me and a little bit different for the channel. But I definitely like these. I have a few ideas. And I even have an idea for a set of knife handles. So thanks for watching along. Thanks to all you new subscribers. I really appreciate y'all's support. I never really thought I was going to have this many people this quick be interested in what I'm making. So thank y'all all again. I hope to see y'all on the next one. Have a blessed day.